Hello everyone, this is Jessica. Today I want to show you how I made this cute little card with the stamp set from the Funny Farm. I also used some of the thin cuts that Close to My Heart carries and the paper from the Lovely paper pack, which is part of the core catalog that is available until the end of August in 2021. So here's the Funny Farm stamp set. And I'm going to show you, like I said, how to do both the pig, and then the other one I'm going to do is actually I'm going to pull in the little chicken guy because he is so cute. Now I did use the Fancy Borders thin cut, and I'd use this one right here, which makes this cute little scalloped edge, and I love it because it also does have like a little stitching detail to it. Now I used a couple of other thin cuts as well, such as the stitched circles, and I'm going to put that on top that I can stamp my image onto. And then behind it I used the scalloped circle. Now you could use the scalloped circle on your own because it does have like a solid space in the center of its circle, but I wanted to have it in a different color peeking out from behind. So in order to get that front piece of cardstock with my Fancy Borders thin cut detail across it, what I did is I just kind of laid it across my piece of paper here, which is cut to a regular A2 size, A2 card size, and then I used a little bit of Scotch tape just to hold it in place. And essentially I just kind of did it on a diagonal through my Cuttlebug because I wanted to have that other piece of pattern paper from the Lovely paper pack peeking out from underneath. So I just cut it, like I said, on a diagonal like that, and then I'm going to layer it onto my card with that yellow gingham. And I just love this for that Funny Farm stamp set because I feel like it has a little bit of a country feel while also still being like really soft and kind of delicate and cute. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that yellow piece, like I said, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the front of my card base. Now, before I put that other piece on, the one that has the white and the yellow and the pink and the brown, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shimmer brush, and this is just, actually I can't even remember what color it is, maybe like ballerina or something, it's a pale pink. I'm going to take it and I'm going to create some splatters across that bottom corner, which are just really kind of subtle, but they add just a little bit of sparkle there down where my sentiment is. And I'm going to do that first before I put that other piece on because I really only want it to show up on the canary gingham piece. So I'm just going to do that right now, and then I'm going to set it aside for a couple minutes while I work on my stamping so that way it can dry. First I'm going to put on this piece here, and then like I said, I'll just kind of set it aside so it can dry a little bit. So that part's ready to go. So now let's move on to getting our little animal stamped into the center of our circle. Now originally I did do that pig and I was going to copy him, but then I was looking at the other animals and I thought, you know what, I kind of want to do this little chicken. I have someone special in mind that I would like to send this card to, and we kind of have a thing about chickens, so I decided at the last minute to change it. And then because that little chicken guy is so little, I'm also going to include one of those little wreath features that are also in the stamp set down underneath him, so that way I can really fill up that circle. And I just think that that is so cute. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and each of the animals has a cute little punny saying that goes along with it. The pig one says, "Missing you pig time," and for the chicken it says, "Just chicken in," and I think the horse says like, "Oh hey there." So they all have these cute little punny sayings that go along with them. So I stamped my sentiment down in the corner on that canary gingham piece, and then there is also a cute little heart that is included in the stamp set, and I just pulled out my canary ink pad and I stamped that above the sentiment, and it sort of like gives a subtle touch to it because it does kind of blend in with that paper a little bit, but with the two yellow hearts and those pink splatters from the shimmer brush, it just kind of adds a little bit something down to that bottom piece of paper. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and attach my little chicken guy to the front of that scallop circle, which I did cut out in the coordinating cardstock, which I believe is ballerina. And then I do have a yellow shimmer brush, but the one that I have is lemonade, and the yellow in this paper is canary. And so it's a little bit too bright. I was kind of hopeful that it would work, but when I tested it on my scrap piece of paper, I thought, no, it doesn't really coordinate very well. So I went ahead and I grabbed one of my watercolor pencils, which is a much better yellow that is suited to the canary that's in this paper. So I colored in my chicken with my watercolor pencil, and then what you're going to see is a really really cool trick that you can use with both shimmer brushes and watercolor pencils is the watercolor pencils can be used on their own if you want it to have I'm sorry, a pencil colored sort of look. But if you wanted to have a watercolor kind of look, then you can take your clear shimmer brush, and because it's wet, it's going to react with that watercolor pencil, and it's going to turn it into, instead of looking like a colored pencil colored in, it's going to look more like it's been watercolored. And then it also adds, of course, a little bit of sparkle and shine because it is a shimmer brush. So I just did that with my clear shimmer brush over the top. And then whenever I do stamp a little person or animal, I always like to take that same pink shimmer brush and put just a couple of rosy cheeks on it. Now here I'm coloring in that little wreath piece that's underneath my chicken. And again, with my clear shimmer brush, what I'm doing is I'm just picking up some of the ink from my Sweet Leaf ink pad. I squeezed the two parts together before I pulled it apart because it left some of that ink on the lid. And then I'm just picking it up with my clear shimmer brush and really just using it like it is like a paintbrush, really. And again, not only is it working to color it, but it's also adding a little bit of sparkle. So I go through and do my leaves with that, and then I pull in the pink again and color in. There's some like little flowers in the wreath. And then, like I said, I also am going to put some rosy cheeks on my chicken. So that's just kind of how I colored my stamped image. There's so many different ways that you can color in the stamped images from close to my heart. You know, watercolor pencils, shimmer brushes, the alcohol markers, just so many different options here. So, and then of course I'm going to clean off my brush on a little scrap piece of paper when I'm done. So that way I'm not transferring color to the wrong spot. Okay. All right. So now we are ready to start kind of putting the final touches on this and assembling everything. I did attach my chicken scallop circle piece to the front of the card with some foam tape to pop him up a little bit. So I'm going to pull in some foam tape and do that. And then the other thing too is that I wanted to put a little bow underneath of it because I felt like it needed just a little bit more. So here I'm just using the foam tape that is left over from my shaker window, my like circle shaker window piece, which is kind of cool because then you get some bonus foam tape in that package. So I'm going to pop that up. And then for the bow that I put on there, I pulled out my white and gold twine from close to my heart. And while I do normally like to use that as is, for this one, when I was holding it up to there, I just kind of felt like that gold was maybe not, it just didn't work. I didn't like it so much because like I said, this is really, it's meant to be kind of country. And I felt like that was maybe a little bit too much. I didn't like the gold piece in there. And so what I did on my string, you're going to see me do it here in just a second, is I cut the length of twine that I wanted, and then I grabbed a hold of that gold piece and I pulled it off. And it was really easy to do. See, here's that bow and it just is white. I just pulled the gold part off, and then all I was left with was that white twine. And so I went ahead and I tied that white twine into a bow. And then to attach it to the front of my card, I used some glue dots. Now, I have found that those are incredibly sticky and a little bit hard to kind of grab a hold of and not get them stuck to your fingers. So one of the things that you're going to see that I do with it is I just grab it with my non-stick micro tip scissors, which close to my heart carries. And I find that works really well because that non-stick part of the scissor helps to pick up that glue dot and put it down on my project without, getting it stuck somewhere I don't want it to be. And so I put 2 of those down there to make sure that my bow wasn't going to fall off. And then I just put my white twine bow minus the gold thread onto the front. And that's pretty much it. And the card is done. There are so many cute little animals in the stamp set. And like I said, they all have some adorable punny sayings that go along with them. And I just love the way that the fancy borders thin cut kind of added that extra little detail to it. So there's the pig, missing you pig time, and chicken. Just chicken in. I hope you enjoyed watching and that this has inspired you to create something as well. If you are interested in any of the things that you saw, please consider shopping with me. I'll include some links below. All right, guys, have a great day. Happy creating.